In this video, we'll discuss the differences between hard and easy corners and define the major room angles you'll encounter in every room. Let's start with easy and hard corners. An easy corner can be seen and cleared from outside the room. These are generally the deep, back corners within a room. They're called easy because you can clear them without entry and with limited exposure to the room. In contrast, a hard corner is a corner that cannot be cleared from outside the room. These corners are typically parallel to the door or point of entry. They're called hard because they require entering the room to address them, exposing you to the entire room. Hard corners serve as strong defensive positions and are some of the most dangerous areas for the assaulter. Now that we understand easy and hard corners, let's discuss the major room angles present in every room. These angles help us describe specific portions of the room and orient ourselves while working the threshold. Remember, these angles are always relative to your point of entry, or any place that allows viewing into a room, such as a doorway, window, or other opening. First, we have the 180-degree angles. These are directly parallel to the right and left of the door, often forming the hard corners. Clearing these usually requires entry into the room. Because they have no exposure from the doorway, they are common hiding or ambush positions, making them arguably the most dangerous angles within the room for the assaulter. Next, let's talk about the 45-degree angles. These are positioned roughly 45 degrees to the right and left of the door. At the 45, you are at an oblique angle from the door or other point of entry, providing a deeper perspective into the room while your exposure remains limited. This deeper perspective is critical, as the information gathered at the 45 may alter the tactics used at the doorway. Now we have the 90-degree angle. This is directly in front of the door and splits the room in half. It's a critical checkpoint during room clearing because it helps you assess the room's layout and is a common angle to encounter people. However, at the 90-degree angle, your exposure to the room may be greater while your ability to control the room may become stretched. Lastly, we have the narrow angle. This represents the angles along the wall connected to the point of entry that are visible from the doorway or other point of entry. These angles are referred to as the narrow, because from this position, your exposure to the room is limited to a very narrow set of angles. The narrow is commonly the first angle of exposure when approaching a room and is used as a security and bailing position. However, encounters at the narrow can be problematic and dangerous, as proper positive identification can be difficult, and narrow-to-narrow engagements have their unique challenges.